Hey guys, I am thinking about transplanting this baby elephant ear that I have in the ground over here. I know it's going to get pretty monstrous and this area is pretty small, so I don't want it to grow too big for this area. So I think I'm going to move one of them into this pot where my Persian plant is. And if I put it here, I think it's going to get big and tall and create kind of like a thriller, which is the height, I guess, that it's gonna bring into this little grouping that I have over here. The color should contrast really nicely because that one is your typical green leaf, and then you got the purple and the lime greenish color of this coleus over here. So let's see. You should be able to see that, right? I think I'm going to use the big shovel. I have a small one that I can use, but I think the big one might get me the better root system. Go in and see what I get out of it. Try not to damage anything. But since, well, I got all the roots. That wasn't as hard as I thought. I got all the root system. Nothing came out with it, which is good because I don't really want to plant ground soil into a pot. So it looks really healthy, fairly healthy. I had transplanted a little bulb that I had gotten on the mother plant into the ground over here because the ground is more fertile over here. And it looks like it loves that area, so it started to take root. So now I'm just going to take this guy over here and plant it over there. For this one, I know the small shovel will work better in getting in there than the big shovel. I think I'm just going to put in this corner over here. Make a hole big enough. Stick the roots down there. Actually, I'm going to need some fertilizer. Just going to reach in my bag of tricks, get some biotone, stick it in there. Helps to promote the root. Stick it in there. Backfill it. Sure, give it a good little tap down. There you go. That's about it. Pretty easy. I think it's going to do great in this little spot. And then, if you watch my other video, the mother plant, I mean, the ear is like 16, 18 inches long. Wide, I can't even tell. But it's going to get pretty massive. So when it does start to get bigger than the Persian plant, I'm going to turn it around. Actually, I just might do that now. Ooh. This is the only bad thing about big pots. When you fill it up, I think I'm just going to leave it like this for now. Let this grow a little bit more, and then once it's done, then I can face it the way I want. But, or maybe not. So, once it gets to be the size you want, then you can kind of face it however you want. These pots are heavy once it gets full of dirt. So right now you can't even see it because it's back there. But once it starts to take root and grow, it's gonna grow big and tall, and I think it'll fill up that area really well. So with the secondary one that I have over here, I have a pot similar to it on the opposite side. I'm sorry, my garage is a mess. So I think I am gonna have to put in new soil in here. I had a couple plants in here and I just kind of neglected this one over here. So I'm gonna put it in here just so it mirrors the other one. And then once I get enough of the Persian propagated, I'll put the Persian in here too, and the coleus. So I have two containers that look pretty much identical to this one over here. And I think that's a pretty combination, contrast. And as we approach fall, all the flowering plants will start to kind of die off and do its thing in hibernation. I think these guys will stay a little bit, you know, fresher, and the color kind of goes with fall. To me it does anyways. I think that'll be a pretty little pot combination. So I think I'm going to scoop this little guy up but put him to the side because I got to redo the other pot and it's going to take me a while. I think that's going to be it until I do an update on the 2 container and see how it's going to be and grow. I do know that the Persian plant is more of an annual, and so is the coleus. The elephant ear will come back. So these guys might die off, so I might take some cutting in the fall time, preserve it over the winter, and then plant them again in the springtime and see how they do. But before they die off, hopefully I can do another update and show you guys how they all look and compare. Because by this point in time, all my plants, the flowering plants, are starting to dwindle. Here is my abutilon. It's still growing strong. I actually trained this one into a tree. But you can see it's a little bit less on its flowers, but it still has a little bit here and there. But everything is kind of dying off. My daisies are looking bad. My hydrangeas are coming to its color. It's supposed to turn, like I said, I did a video on this, but it starts to turn a little bit, but it never fully turns on me, and then it just goes brown. And although it provides some interest, I don't know if I like that brown color. So I might have to rethink my hydrangea area for up here. Right now this is a work in progress bed, but these are all my hydrangea, and I don't know, I like hydrangeas. I just feel like they're a little bit floppy. See this one over here, this is a bobo. I think it's supposed to turn color too, but as you can see, it's turning to the color that I don't really want, which is brown. And I think a lot of people say that it's due to me not giving it enough water. Sometimes that's why it dries up. But this area is actually really moist because I have 2 gutter that drains into it. And it actually has a lot of water in this area. So it should be doing fine. The roses are kind of spent over here. I put a rose in the middle, like a hedge of rose right there. You can see it. But I'm going to have to deadhead some. I'm still getting some. And then I just transplanted these cone flowers from propagation. So they're growing. I think we still have enough time in the summertime for it to do its thing and to look pretty. But I actually had a row of sedum right here that this area got too wet for it, and it flopped over and it started root rot. So that's why I have no more sedum around this area. If you watch all my earlier videos, you'll see the sedum. I had a hedge of sedum just like over here. This is the sedum that I have. It's Autumn Joy. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, look at it. And this one, I actually was thinking of tearing it down because it's just one and it's so massive. I didn't realize it got this massive. And it's basically overtaking this entire flower bed. As you can see, I have roses over here. I have some hydrangeas, standard rose tree. And then I have the lavender hedge in the front. But the sedum is just taking over the whole entire area. But this bed over here only has one gutter water drainage, and then it doesn't have that cement block to prevent the water from coming out. So the water doesn't sit in that flower bed. It comes out through the hole of these little brick steps. Whereas over there it's cemented in, so the water stays within that area, and it gets so much water. So I'm looking to remove this, but I don't have the heart right now because it's still doing beautifully, even though it's like we're coming to what, mid-September, and it's still hot, but it's looking fabulous. Look at it. And it hasn't changed color yet, so these are still fresh flowers, like they're just new. When they are spent, they will start to turn kind of a, see, they go pink and then they go red, and all the pollinators love it. But you can tell this one is just loving its head off. And it's not as floppy as the other one. Like the other one, they were like leaning all the way to the ground. The root rots were starting to get it. But this one, you can see it's starting to branch out. See how it's creating this like weird circle thing where everything just flop over left and right of it. And I didn't like that. Over here, I think I want it to be more structured. But look at me, I am starting to talk about other things when all I just wanted to do was to show you this new idea for my flower pot with my elephant ear. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're enjoying your garden, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.